Hello and welcome to episode 134 of Wing Sauce. And, uh, you know, I thought about not saying it because I didn't want to jinx them, but you know what? The boys are on a heater. It's 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
They've been playing well. I'm hoping
Arizona was
they
a
can
close
keep
one.
it up.
That was
Yeah,
close.
it was too close for comfort, but hey,
Yeah.
A
win's
win is a win.
A win is a win.
win.
They got
Especially
two
in
out of
this
it,
league.
so yeah.
just like a championship is a championship, and no matter what league it's in, right, Connor?
That's absolutely right.
Connor just got his beautiful what league? It's
Honestly,
it's-
I don't even
it's an
know.
adult league, but it says it on the ring, doesn't
It's
it?
not an adult league.
Yeah, it does.
It's a child's league, and he just goes in there and scores. Like he's just putting up like, crazy numbers. No,
It's a beer league.
It's actually Mila's league.
It's a beer league over in Kalamazoo, and they asked me to play. So I'm in like my league in Battle Creek, and then some of the guys from that league last year after it ended were like, "Hey, we play in a summer league too if you're able to play." So I ended up playing in that and one other one. So I was actually playing in a couple over in Kalamazoo, and So anyway, we won that, and he goes. So I'm in my. It's winter time. It's November, right? And I'm in the Battle Creek League. We're getting ready. The guy that asked me to join, he comes in our locker room before a game. Was like, "Hey, I forgot to give you this or whatever. First time I've seen you," and handed me a Ziploc bag, and it has a T-shirt in it. Like that's all I could see. And there's another person sitting next to me in the locker room that was on the team too, and he's like, "Oh yeah, is your ring in there?" And I like kind of laughed, and I was like, very funny, I guess."
Yeah,
Just thinking like, yeah, we won a championship and rings, blah blah blah. So okay, weird joke, but okay. I open it up and he's like, "No, really, there should be a ring in there." I was like, "What?" So there's actually a ring, like a full, case, like a regular ring case that you would get. I pull it out. It's super. I mean, hopefully he doesn't hear back on this, but I'm sure he already knows this. It's like a super cheap, cheesy ring, but it is really.
He's
funny.
listening. He's like, "Wait, what?"
I think he knows. He should know. Yeah, I sent you guys a video or a picture of it or whatever. There is the league name in it. I don't even know. Yeah, it is a gold-looking ring, clearly just metal that's like painted gold.
Oh, that's not
the
real?
team name on it. Yeah, I spent like $4,000 each ring. And it does. I think he got them all the same size, and it like barely fits my pinky. So it's kind of cool now that I have a pinky ring, like a dedicated pinky ring. I always wanted one of those. So pretty happy about that.
Classy.
At some point I can fit it into like a Halloween costume at some point. I haven't figured out all the right details, but like a mob
You
boss
could be
or
Mr.
something
T.
like that. Yeah, there you go. I could do that too. I look just like him.
Pretty much.
Same hair.
Same hair. Yeah.
Speaking of Connor, I saw you went Christmas tree chopping or cutting.
I did. Yes.
However you want to preface that.
Yeah, which super happy. So we went on the 26th. So that was Saturday. Super happy we went yesterday. It was really nice. I'm actually a fan of when it's cold and you go. I think most people are. It kind of reminds you of Christmas. Like, okay, getting in the spirit a little bit.
Yeah.
So the last couple of years it's been snowy. But this year it was like 50 degrees, sunny, beautiful
Perfect
day.
golfing weather.
It was perfect golfing weather. And then I wake up today being Sunday and it's rainy and kind of nasty out. It's like 42 degrees and rainy.
It's been raining all day here.
Yeah. So super happy when got that out of the way. It was a good time. I forgot. Quick story in that too is that we get there. It's like a 22-minute drive, I think, when I put it in the map. We get there. It's cash or it's no. It's only. It's no credit card or debit card, and I only had a credit or debit. I forgot to bring a check.
Of course.
So we had to go there, pick it out. And I told them, I'm like, hey, let's just set it to the side. So I had to drive home, drop the baby off and whatever. We had the dog and my wife, and then come back to pick it up. So it was a hell of a day. And then we sat and watched the Michigan game.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
When they get all the way out there and don't have the
Griswolds.
Yeah,
Griswolds.
Exactly. Yeah. It was like that. It felt like Clark.
Oh man, Tyler, what'd you do this weekend? Anything exciting?
Well,
wait. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Tyler, you start because you just asked us and we just kind of skipped over.
Yeah,
was your Thanksgiving good? Tell me about it.
Oh my God, we forgot about Thanksgiving. No, it was good. We just went up to Ludington for Thanksgiving. Came back Friday, and then the high school team that I'm coaching had a game Saturday, and yeah, it was good. You know what? We were watching the Lions. I made a bet with one of the kids on my team. His family's from Buffalo. I was feeling a little confident. They were 3 in a row. I said,
should have known better.
Well, yeah. So his family's from Buffalo, and everyone at the high school knows, like, if he wears Lion stuff, people will make fun of him. And so I had a DeAndre Swift jersey, and I said, you know what? If the Lions win, you have to wear this to school for a week, and you have to take a picture of you in this jersey, post it to social media. You cannot take it down until the Bills beat the Lions next time. And then if the Bills lose, or if the Bills win, excuse me, then I have to buy a Josh Allen jersey and wear it to practice for a month.
So is that on the way, or?
It is. It's
You're like, didn't know how expensive those things were, but before
No.
I made that bet.
Do you go to Alibaba?
No. That was a caveat. I told him, I said, hey, by the way, I'm not going to buy one of these $300 jerseys. I'm
Like
going to
the
buy
NFL authentic.
Yeah. Nope. It's coming straight from DHgate, baby.
Yeah, it's gonna be a make your own t-shirt.
Well, he's gonna get it by the end of next season. That's the problem.
Well, that's what he was telling me. He was like, okay, that's going to be done. And he's a senior too, right? So that's his big fear. And I was like, you know what? He's a little bit smaller than I am. And he's like, I do have some jerseys that might be able to fit you. If that doesn't come in till like late, you still have to follow through with the bet and at least wear this for a month to practice. I'm like, yep, that's a deal.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So the food wasn't good. Sounds like you didn't touch on that. Or the food was good.
No, the food was really good.
Oh, okay.
Ate a ton of food, and then had a couple of tough guy sodas and fell asleep early. So
Shit.
what about you? What about you, Dustin?
I cooked a brisket, so I was up at 2:30, and so I fell asleep at like 6 o'clock. But the brisket was good. Just had my sister over and my niece and her husband, my sister's husband. That sounded kind of weird. No. But yeah, it's good. Then on Friday we went to Toledo Zoo and saw the lights at the zoo. Kind of walked around. It was nuts. So we went at 4, so a little early. As we're leaving at like 6-ish, man, that line it was backed up all the way to like
I bet.
it was insane.
Yeah.
I'm just like, thank God we came early.
Right.
So it was good. Connor, what'd you do?
Yeah, no, it was
East side, right?
Yeah, just like back at families and the classic holiday bunch going on. You know, you get zero downtime. A sister's engagement party on Wednesday night in Ferndale, which was nice with family and friends. We went to Otis Supply. It's a bar restaurant there. It's super sweet.
Okay.
So that was Wednesday night. Thursday, Thanksgiving, just, you know, you wake up and you're doing stuff basically the whole time. You see both sides of the family. And then, yeah, it was didn't do anything crazy, kind of a late night though. Like Thursday's it's a great day because I'm a food person. First off, I love that type of food. Some people don't care for Thanksgiving food. I love it.
Justin Thomas, I think, made a comment about that.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. He said,
What did he say about it?
He said that if it was so good, you'd make it all the time.
Yep.
But it's not just like, I'm not going to go out and make a
It's
turkey and mashed potatoes. There's 17 different sides. Like, I'm not going to go. First of all, if I was Justin,
It's
if
very
I am
filling.
Justin Thomas,
Yeah.
well, if I'm him and I have all that money, I probably would do it all the time. Like, shit, here's a chef, come in and do that once a month. I would do that. And if I didn't have to like clean up and do
Connor's
all
sitting
that,
there pondering it. He's like, how do I get
yeah, I'm the only reason I don't do it is because I physically can't.
right?
So
Connor's getting paid a lot of money from the beer leagues he's been in because he's winning them championships. So it's
true.
extra bonuses when he signs the contracts. If he brings them a championship, they get extra money. So pretty soon Connor will be able to do these things.
it's true. Yeah.
As the beer league champion.
They just launder money through me, I think.
That's how it works.
I'm happy for it.
Works out.
Yeah.
No, it was good. So it was like we ate food. There's football on all day, and then like I said, great timing because it transitions. There's a couple college football games on after at night, and then there was a Michigan State game basketball at 10:30 at night. So I was like, I'm locked and loaded from 12:30 from when the Lions play. Just sit and just hang out with family, eat food, drink some beer, drink some wine, and relax, and you're good to go.
No World Cup soccer.
World Cup soccer, yeah. I mean, I'm not a big just like I'm gonna watch. I don't know, Belgium versus Denmark. I couldn't care less about that, but I will. I've watched both the USA games. That I've always been I feel like hockey is always like they do and don't like soccer at the same time because the diving and everything. Even though
that's the worst. Oh my god!
But if you
Oh,
think
my
about
leg!
it, hockey and soccer are probably the two most similar sports when you look at what needs to happen. The like give and go passes, like
It's
playing
nonstop.
off the ball, off the puck. It's nonstop. But so I was watching that. It's very similar, as in you can watch a really entertaining game like U.S. versus England, and the score be 0-0. I hate that it ends in tie, and I think everybody's in agreement, especially in the U.S. Like nobody likes that in any sport. But I was on the edge of my seat the entire game watching that. So I don't know if you guys have been watching any of the World Cup.
Yeah, I watched
a little bit
of
this
it.
morning. Yeah,
I was watching a little bit, but I took advantage of the nice days and went golfing.
Nice.
Of course.
Still wet out there right now?
Not today, but the last couple days. No, it wasn't really that wet. It was nice out actually. Greens were nice. Fairways were nice. I'm so pissed. We lost our simulator league playoff, like getting into playoffs, because my two partners who've done great all year and I played like mediocre golf. Finally, I played like lights out, had 13 putts and 9 holes, and literally they both shit the bed, and so we lose by like 2 points. I'm just like shit. So,
well, tell them to carry the water bottles home.
No shit, right? But yeah, yeah, that's all I got. We talked a little bit of that. You want to talk some hockey now?
Speaking of golf, I didn't tell Connor this. Dustin, I told you, I'm going to be playing in Nashville this week.
Nice.
So driving down on Wednesday, and then flying back on Sunday. I know you're probably like, what? How's that working? So we're heading down with Hugh, and then Hugh's going to stay an extra few days, and I couldn't get Monday off, so I'm going to fly back Sunday night.
Cool.
So
nice.
Yeah, I'm excited. I don't think that I've played golf outside of the state of Michigan, so I'm pretty excited for that.
Oh, different kind of grass.
Yeah.
Different kind of grass. So
I'm still gonna suck there, so it doesn't matter.
We have to let us know your score when you get back.
Yeah, I'll probably shave a few strokes off of it just to make me sound good.
Better not.
Yep,
so
82.
Yeah, nice 82 on 9. I mean
on 9.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so want to talk a little hockey?
Let's do
Tyler
it.
kicked it off saying the Wings are hot.
I mean, there's only been 2 games since we last recorded.
Yeah.
So nothing crazy. 3-0 win against Nashville and a 4-3 shootout win against Arizona. Huso recorded his third shutout of the season against Nashville.
Leading the league.
Is he?
As of the Arizona game.
Oh, nice. And then Hronek matches the longest goal streak by defenseman in franchise history, which is crazy. We were talking about him being hot, and I didn't think he was that
Trivia,
hot.
who's he tied with?
Oh, he has that post as well.
I do it, yeah, so.
Oh, I was not reading all of that, but
no, I haven't. You want me to throw it up there?
Or I thought you.
It's Matthew Schneider and Nicholas Lidstrom, correct?
It's Lidstrom.
That's what I said. Lidstrom.
I don't know.
Get the hell out of here. Both of you. Go kick rocks.
And Reed Larson.
Yeah, he's irrelevant.
Who?
What? But yeah, I'm telling you,
I believe it's Larsden. You guys aren't saying it right.
All right, we're booting him. No, but I'm telling you, it's got to be the mustache. That's the only thing that's changed since last season.
He has to keep it.
You think he keeps it starting in December?
He's more aerodynamic.
He has to. Would you shave that?
Well,
Never.
It's just like November. So
I don't care what it is. If you're hot,
if it's working for you, you keep it.
No, I wasn't asking you. I was just more so asking the question of, do you think?
No,
like I agree. I say that he keeps it. Like you have to. I think we're all on the same page there.
He's not superstitious, just a little stitious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael Scott.
Yeah, you got to keep it. But
you do.
I mean, he's jumping in the play. He looks like a forward out there half the time. He's not making stupid defensive plays. And we talked about it all the time. We don't have to spend a ton of time on this, but when you are providing an offensive support and offensive side of things, you can be more aggressive defensively. You can make mistakes knowing that you're producing offensively, and you have a little bit of a longer leash. Like I bet you that if you're watching last year versus this year, defensively he's playing better, but I bet it's nothing crazy.
It is crazy. So I know this is an 82 game.
No. I know what you're. Go ahead. I know what you're going to say, but that's not. I think I'm not talking about it in the same way. But go ahead.
That's fine. All I was gonna say is the plus minus difference from
Yeah,
last year.
that's not what I was gonna say.
I know that's fine, Connor.
No,
I'm just
shut
looking at it
up.
real quick.
I was kidding.
I'm just saying it went from a minus 29 last year to this year. I know this is a smaller sample size of being only 20 games, but it's a plus minus of 10. So I mean,
Yeah.
he's playing better defense than actually. I feel like his line scoring and is playing better defense by not allowing goals in.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that when you score, which helps your plus minus, like him scoring and being on the offensive side of things and providing offense helps the plus minus. So take plus minus, take scoring, take everything out of the way, out of like the ice and like anything out of you. Just take a look at specifically defensive plays. I bet you that in certain instances he's playing a little bit better defensively, but all in all, there's not like a crazy shift that's happening where he's like suddenly a great defenseman. It's no, he's being more efficient offensively, which gives him the longer leash for a fan point of view to say, okay, yeah, he made a mistake defensively. I'm going to look past that because he has 6 goals in 6 games or whatever, just mentally knowing that he's doing that.
So I think we brought it up last time. I mean, his defensive pairing is a huge
with Mata. Yeah, it's
yeah.
huge.
I mean, you actually have someone that
100%.
plays defense. You know what I'm saying? Like last year, who was he playing with?
It wasn't just one guy, was it?
He was with I mean, he was with Osterley sometimes. He was with De Kaiser sometimes. I mean, he was all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, imagine like going out there with the Kaiser and trying to play that style of game. No wonder he was minus.
No,
75.
that was Albuquerque. I thought De Kaiser got a Albuquerque's playing over in like Switzerland or something right now.
Yeah,
De Kaiser got cut from
the PTO.
Who's the Marlies? Yeah.
Oops, poor De Kaiser.
Whoopsie.
That's okay.
Honestly, ever since his back surgery, he was just never the same. So, I mean, he was a good player when he first joined the Wings, but again, you have to look at the product of his surroundings, right? He was the beneficiary of playing with good players, and I think as time went on, unfortunate injuries happened, and that's just the way the cookie crumbled, unfortunately. But I will say the Red Wings. The power play looks really good. They're moving the puck a lot. When they were using, it looked like only Kubalik as the trigger. They've been, keeping it around the perimeter, using Perron for that trigger.
Mm-hmm.
They've been using it at the top as well.
Well, and in the middle with Larkin.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it. It's almost when you are being so offensive and you're being productive, it's like in football when you have a bunch of runs in a row, you basically do that to draw the linebackers in to go over the top on a throw and like after 5 plays. It's like, so on the power play with the Red Wings, Kubalik being on that right side, technically right, he's a left-handed shot, right? Yeah. To be on that right side and then to continue shooting and scoring, the defense has to take account for that and just opens up the middle for Larkin. He's got a couple goals there. Perron, like you mentioned, there's shots from the point. You can start changing it up because you're being so productive going off of Kubalik.
Yep. So do we want to start with the Nashville game and just kind of break that down, or
that's fine.
We want to just talk randomly?
I always like random too, though.
Oh, for sure.
No, but we can talk Nashville.
Yeah, let's go Nashville.
Again, power play started to look good last week. But just this week alone, I feel like everyone's been a little bit more confident. They only got 2 chances against Nashville, but they capitalized on one of them. I think against Arizona, they had 4 and capitalized on 2. So if you're averaging, 50% a game, that's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that they're somewhere in the low 20s. But
so one thing to mention, I feel like Bergeron's making his name known as far as wanting to stay up. Bergeron, thank you.
Bergeron.
Yeah. Whatever you want to
call him.
You
said Bergeron, and I was like, yeah, we could use him.
I like him.
Yeah.
I've heard
of him.
No, he's made his name known.
Yeah,
right.
Bergeron, he looks we touched on that when he first came up, where the sample size was too small. And you don't really know. I do think that he's looking like an NHL player, which is a good first step. He doesn't look out of place. The longer you stay up, when you have a couple good games on your belt where you don't need to score, but don't make any stupid plays, he just gets more confident with the puck, confidence with the puck, holding it, stick handling it off the wall, passing it. He's had a couple assists. He's got a goal. Does he have 1 or 2 goals? I don't remember, but either way, let me see.
Who? Sorry.
Berggren. He's got 1 goal, 4 assists. So, I mean, you got 5 points in what, 7 games? That's not a bad start at all. You take that all day long.
So one thing I did notice is Larkin, I feel like, has been scoring the first goal almost in, I think, the last 2 or 3 games.
Last game was against Arizona, where he had the game winner, but he didn't score in regulation. But the game before that, he had 1 goal. I don't know if it was the first one or not. I think it was that one where he jumped over. It was coming down the left-hand side. He kind of got tripped up by Nashville and had like a jumping in the air type of goal. I don't remember if that was the first or.
Yep, that was the first one.
Was
Air
it?
Larkin.
Yep. Yeah. And actually, I kind of jumping ahead a little bit, and I'll let you go on your Larkin take there, Dustin, in a sec. But I thought one of his best games that I've seen him play was against Arizona. Didn't have any points in regulation, but my Lord, he looked like he was everywhere. He probably had like 10 different shots, like 8 actual scoring opportunities. In some games, you're just going to find a hot goalie, which Arizona, they actually do have a pretty good goalie there. But man, I thought Larkin played really well. Happy he was able to get that winner in the shootout.
I think the reason Arizona played so well is because they're excited to play in an actual NHL.
I was going to say that they're not in an arena that has 5,000 people.
So they're like, holy crap, there's actually people here. Let's go. No, I'm sorry. No, all I was going to say about Larkin is they published something, Connor, I think you might have sent it to the group chat about the top 10 centers or the top 10. Was it top 10 centers or the top 10 captains? I can't remember which it was, but as far
I think
as
it was centers, because I don't think all of them were captains. But
okay, centers and point totals over. Do you remember that?
It was basically your WAR. Like if you look at I forget, there's a different acronym for hockey, but it's wins above replacement, or like players above replacement, goals above replacement, or something like that, where you take a look at players, and then if you take them out of the lineup, how does that impact your game? So like in baseball, that's a huge statistic right now, is your WAR, wins above replacement. If you take that player out of your shortstop, do you lose more games, or do you win more games? Having a minus WAR is not good. I think if I'm saying that correctly, it's not good, because then you lose more games.
Here we go.
So they have the same thing in hockey.
I got it. Since the start of last season, top 10 centers and expected goals above replacement per 60, greater than 1,000 minutes, C's included if primary position played. Top 10, of course, Matthew, McDavid, Bergeron. But Larkin made the list at number 10, which is crazy, being the fact that I think the whole comment was him going into a contract signing, right? That was the whole premise of the tweet, if I recall correctly.
Are there still any Larkin haters out there?
It can be. I honestly, so like, again, I've got, I've talked about the 1C thing and I've got shame for it, but I mean, he's making his presence known. It's kind of hard to make that statement when you see all these numbers and he's producing at that caliber.
I don't think you're ever a hater of him.
No.
I'm talking about the people that say that he's like,
you weren't a hater. You just said he
overrated.
you just said he wasn't a number 1 center.
Yeah.
Which
I like Larkin, but I mean, I feel like it's kind of hard to say he's not when he's top 10 in that statistic, right? You pull him out, and he's,
that's supposed to be a pretty overarching statistic where you're not just taking a look at goals or assists, and like obviously this one touches on goals, but it's above replacement. So if you take him out and you replace him with somebody else, there's only 9 other people on that list that technically would have a higher, replacement effect, where you'd actually be better off with them. And if you take a look at that list, that's a hell of a list.
Surprising is Matthews is number 1 and not McDavid.
Yeah, well, I think it goes with goals in that regard, where Matthews had 60?
Yeah.
Last year, I mean.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He had 100 points, right? 100 something points last year.
Yeah. Probably it's 60 goals.
Dude, that's insane to think about. That's insane to think about in the NHL. Like having that many points is stupid.
You're almost scoring every night.
Yeah, and I think
it's insane to think about.
He didn't start off super hot either.
No, Draisaitl did. All right, you guys, I gotta look this up from last year because
what Connor was saying is that he had like a dry spell, like a period where he didn't score for a little bit.
Yeah, I thought there was a couple games in the beginning of the year where he wasn't off to a super hot.
Yeah, so last year, dude, this is stupid. 80 games played, 123 points. That's his best season yet.
Oh yeah.
How many did he get? 60 goals, or did he
44
go like
goals?
When did he get 60? I thought he had 60.
He's never gotten 60 goals ever.
Austin Matthews?
Oh, Connor McDavid. Sorry,
Where did you get Connor McDavid from?
because I was looking at
talking about Matthews.
my bad. My bad.
I was like, wait a minute. I thought he literally just broke 60 last year.
I know. I was
Rewind.
Rewind.
Yeah,
Okay.
Last year, 73 games played, 60 goals, 106 points for Austin Matthews.
73 games played. 60. How many goals? 60.
60.
That's insane.
Yeah,
In 13 games, you didn't score out of 73.
Yeah, and in those games, he probably had a point still.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
You know, he probably still had a point on the assist, guaranteed.
Imagine being that good in a league that is so skilled right now.
Yeah, but did you hear Connor McDavid's stats? That's insane. I mean, not goal wise, but like assist.
Oh no,
wise.
don't get me
I-
wrong.
yeah.
I have respect for. I'm just saying scoring.
Honestly,
Yeah.
If you're putting the puck in the net 60 games out of when he was hurt for 9, or he was out for 9 games or whatever it was. You still scored 60 goals.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
That's crazy.
I honestly didn't think that Austin Matthews. Like, I knew he was that good, but I didn't think he was that lethal of a goal scorer. I forgot. I forgot he scored 60
Shot's
goals
nasty.
last year.
Oh,
His
yeah.
shot is nasty, 100%, Connor. I just
He's
didn't
got
know he
that
was
like quick,
that
like
fucking
toe
nasty.
drag snap.
I'm seeing him play on Monday up in the gondola, baby.
Nice.
He's the next. I'm not going to say the next Alexander Ovechkin, but he is that type player where he's so electric. Every time that he's on the ice and anytime he gets an opportunity for a power play goal, he'll find a way.
Mm-hmm.
If you give him time and space, he'll make you pay for it for sure. I wanted to ask you guys the question about the Magnus Hellberg edition. Even I know that we picked him up last year.
So weird.
But what's the story with that? And what happened with? Am I missing something? Did something happen to Nedeljkovic?
No, I think he's playing tomorrow. He's playing in the homestand against Toronto, I believe, in the next couple games.
I'm looking in the roster set up right now. It says Husso and Hellberg are listed, and Hellberg is listed as number 39,
I just
which is Nedeljkovic's number. So it makes me think that something's going on here.
Lalonde just had an interview today, like not an interview, but like with journalists after practice or whatever. They were talking about Ned and what the plan is for goalies moving forward, knowing that you have Husso, who's been super hot, one of the better goalies in the league. But then you also, because you have a solid, he's definitely Ned's a backup now, like there's no question about it. But because you have such a solid backup, when's the time to pull him out and give him a rest? Because you don't want to just keep riding him, especially now that they're in the hunt now for the wild card, and everybody knows that
season. No,
yeah, and that statistic, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but that after Thanksgiving stat. Have you seen that one where if you're in the playoff position after Thanksgiving, there's 75% of the time you make the playoffs? I don't think the Red Wings are built exactly right now to be part of that 75%. If I'm being completely honest, I would love it if they just continue this hot streak here. But
it would be a surprise. We can all agree on that. But the thing is, it would be a surprise for them to make it in. I don't think it would be a surprise to have them be in as a wild card, but to have that third spot locked in, I think for sure that would be a big surprise. But for me, at the beginning of the year, I already said I wouldn't be shocked if they did make it. And I also wouldn't be shocked if they didn't. I know it's kind of a weird take, but that's again why I had them slotted as a wild card team.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, sorry, Dustin, real quick, you can go after. But I think the only thing that is better than expectations when the season started is that these all these acquisitions, right? They're playing like all of them are playing better than what we'd have thought. I would say.
I mean, I feel like our depth players are playing well too, right? I feel like that's one thing we're on a hinge about. Like, how, once we get into depth, how's it going to look? And I feel like they've kind of stepped up and played decent hockey.
Yeah, and Soderblom's coming back too. He's day to day. Should be back within a week or so. It sounds like he hasn't practiced yet, and it's not like he's providing a crazy amount of offense, but he does provide a different look when he is out there. That line just looks different. They can play a different style of hockey.
They look a little bigger.
Yeah, exactly. They do. They look a little bigger.
Just a little bit.
I think there's
his stick is probably taller than me.
Feet.
I literally want to see his stick next to me. I guarantee it's almost like
what you're questioning that
stick's probably as tall as him. Like
as tall as me.
No, it's
No, I'm
yeah,
saying
but
his
he's
stick
like
is probably as
6'7".
tall as him
That's what I'm
because
saying.
when my stick is as tall as me.
Yeah, Dustin, I think he unless you're like 6'4", there's no question that his stick is taller than you.
No shit. That's insane.
Yeah.
I would say
Like, not to be a dick, I'm
Yeah,
sure
right.
Connor's stick is going to be taller than you. Connor's stick's probably taller than me.
yeah,
Because
mine's
Connor, you're what, 5'10"? 5'9"?
5'9", 5'10", 5'9".
Okay. So yeah.
It's probably my stick's probably like 5'7".
Now I need to go stand
so
next to my
around like
hockey stick in the garage.
All right. So it's the same height as me.
I didn't think
Yeah.
hockey sticks were that long.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
it's all preference.
The rule of thumb is that on your toes, like when you're young and they're trying to
Supposed to
cut your
come up
stick
to your
down,
nose.
it's coming up to your nose, and then off of that, depending on what your preference is, there's some guys like that are really
Like Hossa loved a long stick. Like he loved having the long reach. If you look at like when he played, his stick was same thing with Line A. And then if you
Lemieux.
look at Lemieux as well. If you look at like Sam Girard, his stick is like miniature.
Yeah.
So he likes it very small. I don't know. It's all preference, man. It's very weird.
Yeah. A lot of it's just saying if you like to be tight in the corners, you think you have better hands and your shot's not taking a huge blow, then you people will say like, okay, well, I need to have a stick that's a little bit shorter because maybe a shot isn't getting affected as much, and that's not my strength because your shot's going to take a hit, or you have to go down and flex. Like if you were normally an 85 flex and you cut your stick is now like a 95 flex, so it's stiffer. So maybe you want to be at a 77 flex, and then you can cut your stick down. You really be at like an 85. That's
similar to a golf shaft.
Get more whip.
Yep, similar to a golf shaft. Once you cut that down, it gets stiffer. Same thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So back to Tyler's earlier comment. I don't know about Nedeljkovic because now you got me questioning. I've been sitting here looking for the last 5 minutes searching because they're both 39, which is weird. I don't see anything like on the transaction.
I just thought that was weird. It could very well be a typo. I mean, NHL.com is not always 100% perfect, but like I took a screenshot and sent it to you guys because I thought it was interesting nonetheless.
Let me find what I saw.
It is interesting. No, I saw what you saw, Connor, because there's a thing that says like Media Day Nedeljkovic, and it was like from 2 days ago. But
this one was like today, I swear. But either way, yeah, you saw that it was like Daniela or Carly or something like that, where it said, "Oh yeah, we can." Milan's talking about how Nedeljkovic is going to be getting some ice time in the homestand. So whether it's like 1 or 2 games in a row, but there was nothing about like injury. I didn't think.
Yeah, they have Nedeljkovic and Hellberg on ESPN as well, both marked as number 39.
Wow. So they're just gonna have to battle it out for that number.
Maybe
and for the backup spot, I guess.
Coach Milan says he foresees Alex Nedeljkovic starting in net during this homestand.
Yeah, but
that was 2 hours ago.
Yeah, but Hellberg's listed though on NHL.com as being the.
Can you have 2 guys on your roster with the same number as long as they both don't dress at the same time?
I don't think so.
No.
So for when who did we pick him up from? The Senators? We picked him up off of waivers from the Senators, and I think he may have been number 39 with the Sens. So maybe that number just stayed in the system along with his stats until he gets, because he hasn't been issued a new number yet because he hasn't started.
Because he hasn't played.
So
true.
Maybe that's what was going on. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I like our conspiracy better.
Yeah, me too.
So they're gonna battle it out on the ice before the game starts. Whoever wins.
Come to think of it, have you ever seen the two in the same building?
You probably can't see my phone.
No,
it's he was practiced today, and the only reason there was a picture of him is because he's paying off a bet with Larkin, so he's wearing a Michigan like a Michigan undershirt basically that has the Jumpman logo on it and everything.
Oh yeah, because he's from Ohio.
Yeah, he's Ohio.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about that real quick. I got to give credit where credit is due, guys. I'm not a Michigan fan. I've said it before.
You didn't watch the game?
No. Never seen it.
Out, man.
It was so, and anyone I've bashed Michigan before on this podcast. Been raised as a Michigan State fan. Never went to Michigan State. Went to Western Michigan. So really no dog in this fight. But what I will say is, I thought that even with Michigan's previous, their schedule had been, so-called weak every team that they played.
Their out of
And-
conference games were horrible.
Exactly. And then even when they played Penn State, they beat them up in the second half. It was close. I think Penn State was up 17-14 at half. And then Michigan
But that
didn't
game was
have
like,
another one.
yeah, in that game, look, I think if you look at the breakdown I know this is getting
it
into
was
details.
totally one-sided.
The first half was like Michigan had 300 yards and Penn State had like 14.
Yeah.
And I was like, but they were still up. So I don't think talking to a couple of Michigan fans, it didn't sound like they were entirely nervous, but like, hey, anything could happen. You know, they were probably more nervous last week against, what was that, Indiana or Illinois?
Illinois, yeah. So Illinois, during that game, when I was watching, I was like, oh man, maybe this is Michigan showing their ass. Maybe that this is them. You know,
they didn't have any of their they didn't have some of their guys in. They were taken out early. They played
Corum was
15
injured
plays
during that game. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the passing game was awful. The receivers since the beginning of the season haven't looked good. That's a direct quote from one of my friends who's a U of M fan. He said that Michigan's receivers have been awful all season.
Yeah.
But during the Michigan Ohio State game, it was pretty much dead nuts even at half. I think that Ohio State was up 20-17 if memory serves. I even said it before halftime. I said Ohio State's in trouble. Michigan is a second half team. They're going to come out like they haven't seen before. And Ohio State, you know, they looked kind of shaky with defense. They didn't look stellar. And Michigan just absolutely, the floodgates opened. Well, and to see that final score, holy crap. Oh, yeah. On the road in Columbus.
On a nice day.
Wild.
On a nice day too. I mean, if anything, earlier in the week, it was supposed to be rainy and a little bit colder. It come in, all Michigan fans were celebrating because if you're going to beat Ohio State, typically you're not going to beat them in a track meet where you're having all these guys, all these 5-star recruits that are running 4.2s as a wide receiver that are like 6'3", with no wind on a perfect day. Typically, they're going to be more athletic and better than you, especially with a Heisman candidate as your quarterback. And I mean, Michigan just I'm not a Michigan fan. Like you said, Tyler, credit where credit is due. I also probably dislike Ohio State more than Michigan. I'm actually happy with the outcome. It's kind of weird now they have to, I don't know. I'm a Big Ten fan when it gets to the final playoff picture. So now it's like, I want them to do well, but it's kind of one of those things where you don't want them to do well at the same time. But happy that it's not Ohio State. They look like garbage. Ryan Day, I mean, what do you do? This guy does not look like he's the real deal and looks like he was born on third, and you just have a bunch of 5-stars that anybody could coach that team. And when it comes down to actually coaching, you can't get it done.
You know what's wild? That Ohio State looks still to be ranked higher than Michigan.
Well, the rankings don't come out till tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that Michigan will jump up to 1 or 2. I would
think Georgia
will be
Georgia's still 1.
I'm sorry. TCU they'll jump up because they're still undefeated, right?
Yeah, I think they won.
TCU will jump up to 3.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State from 4.
So and then what?
TCU was at 4.
Yeah,
they'll jump up to 3. Who's going to be the 4 spot?
It could be Clemson just lost. So that means they're out. Alabama could always find a way to sneak back in.
How's Tennessee?
The committee loves that. Tennessee lost twice, so they'd be out now.
Did they lose? Oh, they lost twice already. Okay.
Yeah, they lost 2.
How is LSU ranked 5?
They had 2 big wins. They beat
lost.
They beat Bama, and who else did they beat? That's why they're ranked high. They beat Bama and they beat someone else big.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think they just lost, so they'd be out too now.
See, honestly, I like college football better than NFL, if I'm being honest.
Oh, I do too.
For sure.
Like it's just such a better game in my opinion, just because all those players are just like they're playing their hearts out. I feel like, especially when it comes down to college football playoffs.
It would just be it would be different if Detroit actually had a team that was good for football.
I forgot USC. USC will be in that.
Yeah,
they'll be 4.
They're 11-1 now. They beat up Notre Dame, right?
And looked good doing it. Yeah,
with their Heisman candidate quarterback.
Yeah, so I think they'll be in as long as TCU can win their conference championship.
Are they for real?
I don't know if they're for real. They don't play anybody, but you can't keep a
That's what I
Power
was-
5 school out if you're undefeated. You know,
It's pretty impressive that their school only has like 5,000 people at that school, and
Horned
they're
Frogs.
like, yeah. I mean, what's more
Horned
intimidating than a horned
frogs.
frog?
I mean, there's not much. I'm trying to see if anybody else. No, I think it's like pretty. The consensus, like the Final Four are set right now. The SEC championship will. I mean, Georgia's probably going to win that, but it's still going to be exciting because, why not? Michigan's got to take care of business, but honestly, even if they lose, it kind of seems like a trap game a little bit. They would probably still be in, to be honest. And then as long as TCU and USC take care of business, they're in. So I feel like this is the Final Four, which being two is a pretty big deal right now, knowing that Georgia seems like they're far and away the best team in college football. So you don't want to be 4 because you're going to have to basically get kicked out in the first.
You know what's crazy to me? Think about how many teams though that go undefeated in college football. It's crazy to me. Like
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dustin.
No, I was thinking it's insane. Like how many teams go undefeated for so long? Like you usually have usually by this time I feel like there's still like a good couple of teams that are undefeated, which is crazy.
Yeah,
I know there's a vast number of college football teams, but it's just one of those things. It's like, wow, there's that many teams that are that good.
Well, who is it? There's 3 teams, right, in the Power 5? Who else is undefeated?
Let me pull it up. So Clemson's
not undefeated.
They lost.
They've lost twice,
my bad. I was looking at my bad. I was looking at conference. So TCU, Michigan,
Georgia,
and
those are the 3 that I was thinking. I just didn't know anybody else unless
that's
you're not
it.
in the Power.
That's it. Nope, that's it.
Yeah, because like Jackson State, for instance, where Deion Sanders is the coach, they're undefeated, but they're
Coach
not
Prime.
in like a Coach Prime. They're 11-0, I want to say, unless they just lost.
Are they deep? What division is that?
They're Division 1. It's just not Power.
Division
5.
Division 1 AA.
Is that what it is? I don't even know. All
Yeah,
the
and
double A
actually
stuff.
they're 5-0 in their conference, but not undefeated. They're 9-2.
So TCU.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
TCU has only played 2 ranked opponents this year.
What do you got?
They beat Kansas State when they were ranked number 13.
I watched that game. That was a
They
decent
beat
game.
them 38-28, and then they played when Texas was ranked 21. They beat them 17-10. So they're playing Kansas State again next Saturday, or this upcoming Saturday, excuse me, December 3rd. It's going to be a rematch, 3 versus 13. So
Did I ever tell you guys about the time I was on the airplane and I was talking to this the person next to me? Go ahead, Connor. What you got?
I was like, what game did Jackson State lose? I think they've won. I think they're undefeated. Not that it matters, but I was like, oh, I have to look back because I had.
No,
I bet
he
on
did.
them a couple times.
He did say they were undefeated.
No, he said they were 9-2, undefeated in their conference.
Jackson State?
Hold on.
Oh, I thought you did say they were undefeated, Dustin.
Oh, my bad. Wrong team. They are
Yeah.
undefeated.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said they were undefeated in their conference, but 9-2 overall.
They're 11-0.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, what was the plane?
I was just saying. So Tyler brought up Texas, and I was sitting next to this person. I was like, "Hey, where do you go to school?" And she's like, "Oh, Texas A&M." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I went to App State. You ever heard of them?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Oh,
We've
yeah.
heard of
This
them.
is so good.
And I'm just like, "Oh, yeah, I forgot we actually get beat you guys. My bad." I was like, "Probably shouldn't call us a bunch of stupid rednecks then."
Yep. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. Anywho, so we didn't talk even about Arizona. So we kind of glanced over it real quick. Dylan Larkin, of course, had that nasty shutout goal to win it. Shootout. Thank you. Shootout goal to win it. He was the only one that made it actually in that shootout. Out of both teams. So,
Yeah, and he actually
We're 1-3
it.
now, aren't we? In the shootout. That was our first shootout win.
That was our first win. Yeah, that was. He actually said it in the post game, which I thought was interesting because you're watching the goalie and something looks different. He was a goofy goalie, so glove was on the opposite hand than normal goalies. So it can kind of throw people off when you typically have a move, but now you're having your move as a forward is going against the opposite hand of what you normally would have. So if you're going blockers, there's typically moves that are better blocker versus glove and all these different things. So I thought Larkin's goal was kind of what you have to do against somebody that maybe you're not super comfortable with. Change speeds. Goalie, that's the one thing if you talk to any goalie in shootouts is they don't like changing speeds like that. You see Kane doing it all the time where he skates down.
Ryan Johansson.
Johansson. There's guys that go super
Kuznetsov.
wide and work on goalies' angles. So I thought that was interesting. I haven't seen too many players do like the speeding up.
It's a chess match.
Yeah, it really is. I thought it was a pretty cool goal. Glad he won that. Needed that to keep the streak going. Don't want to lose against Arizona. That's one when we talked about it.
Yeah.
Like we think they were going to go 2-0. Last time we talked on Sunday, right? I think we all picked 2-0.
We all said 2-0, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to go 2-0. That's why I was saying that Arizona game scared me. It's like, are you shitting me, boys? Like out of all games, Arizona. It's like I feel like that's the games we get so close at are the ones that are like borderline that we should just blow these out of the water, but somehow they come down to like super tight games.
Well,
I hope they don't get Connor Bedard.
And here's the thing though.
Arizona?
I agree with you, Connor. Yeah. And what did they say in Chicklets? Like that he's going to pull Lindros and say, nope, not going.
Yeah, they did say that. I was like, I would too. I would suck.
Can you actually do that?
Yeah, you can do it.
I think
nobody can force you to go where you don't want to go.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not playing hockey.
That's what I'm saying. So if they draft you, number one, do they not have your rights even regardless if you sign a contract?
No, they have your rights. Yeah, they have your rights, but you can't. But you can just tell them that you're not going to play there. So like they can hold your rights and you have to pay them, and then you can like get some guy back. Eli Manning did this when he got drafted.
Really?
Yeah. And
Who did he get drafted by?
I don't even know. It was like Atlanta or somebody.
Didn't he play for the Giants?
I'm a Manning.
He said, I'm a Manning.
Yeah.
You're so stupid. Oh, did you see Little Manning is going lost
Arch?
No. Little high school Manning.
Arch.
That's his name?
Yeah.
Arch Manning, yeah.
Yeah, so he lost he didn't even make it to the state football championships.
Oh.
He packed it in. He's
trash.
He's going to what, Texas?
Texas, yep, Longhorns.
Hook 'em.
Yeah. Anywho, but yeah, what do you got, Tyler?
The point that I was going to bring up when Connor said, I hope they don't get Bedard. Can we talk about Shane Wright?
Oh, poor Shane Wright. Yes.
We have not. So yeah, such a poor display of like player development that we're seeing right now from Seattle. I mean, first of all, this team is not. Yeah, are they doing well right now? And that's fine. Has Shane Wright been a huge contribution to that? No. So why do you still keep him up and bury him on like the fourth line? He needs to develop. He wasn't ready from the get-go.
Right. He's not we talk about that all the time, especially with Red Wings, because we've been so bad and we've had good players drafted. Like you get high draft picks, which are typically high talent. I've said it all along. There's some players that are third and fourth line players, and there's some players that are just not. And if you're not, it does you no good to be on the third and fourth line grinding it out in a 2-3 type of play, in the offensive zone. Like let the guys get creative with other super talented people and good things happen. I mean, can you imagine Raymond on the fourth line?
God.
Like that, like he would be horrible. If that was the place that he was going to be, he wouldn't be on the team. He would be playing overseas or in the A or somewhere. He's going to get power play and first line minutes. I have no idea what they were doing. I think it's horrible that they did that.
I mean, he did get loaned down to the AHL, their AHL team. He did score twice in a conditioning stint for 5 games.
That's where he should have started.
And he can go back. He can go back to the OHL now too.
Can he?
Yeah, there's that weird provision in the rules that'll allow him to. There's something weird that goes on when.
I don't think that's even good for his development, though. He should stay in the A.
He should stay in the A.
If he's going to play all the time, play him in the A. If you're not going to, whatever you think that he's going to play for 22 minutes a night and have power play minutes and be a first line contributor, be there. If that's the OHL, go to the OHL and put 150 points up. You just need to play hockey, like Whit said on Spit and Chicklets. He's so young, and I didn't know that he missed out on the 2020 season, where that's a lot of hockey you're missing out. When you're only.
Because of COVID, right?
Yeah, you're 16, 17 years old or whatever that is. That's huge. You need to get games in.
And I think we've talked about it numerous times, right? With prospects, it's like one of those things we worry about bringing them up too soon, and it exposes them to to that, and it's like, oh, here you're a top line center, but here play 5 minutes a night. This is how it works.
It's like a pitcher in baseball.
As the GM, Ron Francis is their GM, right, for Seattle?
Your guess is
know.
as good as mine on that one.
I think either way. So he's a good hockey mind, and for him to pull something like that is kind of crazy to me. It makes me think what the hell is actually going on there.
Yeah, Ron Francis. Yep.
Yeah, they talked about that on Chicklets too, of just talking about like that he's a pretty smart guy. He knows what he's doing in the hockey world. You think there's something else going on that hopefully they know what's going on one way or the other if they've had conversations with him. Maybe it's money related if they wanted to make sure that he was happy and getting money and sending him down. I don't know what's going on there.
The GM and the coach are button heads. I think that it turned into a pissing contest. I think that the coach was saying, no, he's not ready. Francis is saying, yes, he is ready. And, it just turned into a pissing contest. For one, I think that that's terrible.
Especially for Shane Wright, right?
Oh my God.
He didn't do anything wrong.
The poor guy, he didn't do anything wrong. He wasn't, did he deserve to go first overall? Probably not. We talked about how OHL it's still a very good league, but when you talk about like the WHL and some of these European leagues, if you're producing in those leagues, that's more NHL. Yeah, it translates way better. It's a higher skilled game, bigger players. You're playing with adults.
I mean, shit like a Snyder.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think that Shane Wright needs to develop properly. I think that was he a fourth overall with Seattle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was fourth overall, dropped to 4. Montreal had the first pick, and that's where the first game he could come back on. The first game he could play in is against Montreal when he had. I
wouldn't even do it. Yeah,
I wouldn't either. He did the stare down at the table.
You know what? It could go one of two ways. If it does happen, Connor, it's either he just makes a complete fool of himself and doesn't play well, and it just goes to show that he shouldn't have been playing, or they bring him up and he just lights him up.
Yeah, tears it up. It's always one of those things when it comes down to it. It's always, are those kids ready when they immediately get them started in the NHL at 18? It's just like, that's gonna see how that pays off. Yeah. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off for him.
Well, speaking of kind of league talk here, Dustin, your team absolutely on a tear still, Vegas. Before we go into actual play, though, did you see? Yeah, it is. Did you see the glow in the dark jerseys that they used the other day?
Filthy.
Yeah, they actually look nasty. You can't stare at them too much when they're on the ice. You're going to get like a headache.
I'm going to need a Paul Cotter one. I love the numbers on the back. I love that font.
I love that. I love the goalie with the chin straps. Look, they're all like glow in the dark too. That might just be the white with the reflection.
I missed that. I didn't see the goalies. I'm gonna look it up what it looked like.
You have to watch a video of them walking out of the tunnel.
It's so filthy.
I'm sure it's on Vegas's Insta page.
Social media. Yeah, I'm
Probably.
sure it is.
Yeah. And then what was I gonna say? Oh, Eichel. Yeah. I mean, if you were ever in doubt of the Buffalo trade, if you're like, I don't know, maybe you're not a fan of either one, or like if you're Buffalo, I mean, Vegas looks unbelievable right now. Buffalo is just cannot even find a way to win the game. Yeah, that's it, Tyler, right there.
Oh, those are so cool.
Yeah, and watch so you could see the goalie, right, and all the players, all their the eye loops and the chin straps,
the laces and everything. Oh, yeah. That's so.
And
sweet.
I think that's probably just the white being reflective, but still,
you think that, but it might not be. It might not
be. Yeah, it might all be a specific material.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I just didn't want to give them too much credit. If
I wouldn't be surprised, in all honesty. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an NHL team. They're probably like,
oh yeah, they think of everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else in the league that we're missing. Other than there's been a couple big things with.
Oh, Vaskin's he's sneaking up on Howe's record real quick.
What is he sitting at right now? All-time goals.
You would pull that on me. Let's see here.
Because Gordy was at what was Gordy?
791. Yep, Gordy's 801. He's at 791.
And then it was 894. 894 for Gretzky.
See, when he's
gonna do it, dude.
Oh, he's gonna do it, dude. He's definitely gonna do it.
He's going to.
I can't wait till he breaks Gordie Howe's record. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Gordie Howe, but holy shit.
He's already done it with most goals for a franchise, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And goals
most goals
on the road,
with a franchise. Yeah.
He basically has every record other than the two against the main one.
Do you think he just retires like right then and there? He's just like, well, I'm done.
Once he hits
Well,
895.
He's like, yeah, time to pack it in.
No, I think he's gonna try to hit 900.
That'd be nasty.
That would be. And you could say that it'll never happen again, but then you get a guy like McDavid, and you're like, well,
So
shit.
hold up. Do you think
Yeah,
there
right.
will ever be 1,000 goals scored?
I
As
don't.
the
The
league-
only
As the
Yeah,
league
go ahead.
continues to be more skilled,
Yeah.
I would say it's gonna take a lot. Could I see it happening like in the far future? Yes. Right now, I don't think that there's gonna be anyone who's gonna be close. This
My next
guy,
question.
What?
Hold on. Do you think anyone will ever break Gretzky's point record?
I don't
I
think
don't
that
know.
one. I don't think.
I don't
one,
think
but
that I don't think that'll be touched.
the league, Dustin, to your first question, the league loves goals. All of the future rules are going to be for the players,
scorers,
not
yeah.
for the goalies. Smaller pads, better offsides rules. You already saw it with like your toe like above the line.
Yeah.
The callback, stopping the play if a puck goes in the net mid game. Right. There's a lot of things that happen that are for the players. So there's two types of records. One is the goals, right? Where I think that potentially, like to Tyler's point, we could see that. Is it likely? Probably not, just because it's so crazy. But it could happen. And then there's a record like Kessel, 1,000 games, and like that will never ever, because of where the game's going to. There's so many rest days, and people don't want to overwork, and like
It's
all these different
fast-paced
things.
and-
It's so
yeah.
fast paced. The game's going so fast now. Every year, it's so much faster with better equipment and all these different things, better training. That'll
So you
never
think-
get broken.
Oh, you don't think Kessel's record?
No, that'll never get even. That won't even get sniffed.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
No.
And
where I think the goals.
the next
could.
guy's Brent Burns, and he has like 8. He has to play 200 more games, and Brent Burns is at like
Catch up.
the end of his yeah. Even to catch up. And if Kessel's gonna play like another year or two or whatever, no, he's not gonna touch him.
Who knows with Kessel, right? Because every year he's just like, how the fuck is he still playing?
And I love that he's the face of like what health looks like in the NHL.
my
That is
God,
just
I
so
know.
funny.
As the Iron Man, so
He's
he,
like gonna be
He
in the
defies
Hall of
all
Fame.
logic.
he does.
Yeah.
They asked the question: do you think he on Chicklets, and do you think he is a Hall of Famer?
I think so.
Yep.
Was he on the 2011 Bruins, or was he?
Was he in Toronto at that point? I don't remember.
I can't. I know he was on Toronto in 2013.
I mean, he's a 2-time Stanley Cup winner, right? He's got the Iron
with Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was in Pittsburgh for the first.
He was definitely with Pittsburgh, but I can't remember if he was with Boston for 2011.
He wasn't,
Yeah.
but he's just 2-time. But 2-time with the Iron Man. I mean, shit. What else? Like, come on. That's Hall of Fame worthy in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say without the Iron Man, I would say no.
Agreed.
I think if you have a major record in the NHL, maybe you don't get. I don't know. I would say you're in. Well, the Cups, yeah, but there's so many. So I'm kind of like with Whitney. If people heard him talk about this, like I was with the full yes, you're in the Hall of Fame 100%. But the one thing that I like about the Hall of Fame that it always trends away from this is it should be like the hardest thing ever to get into. You know what I mean? Like you should be talked about on a nightly basis. Like think about how much we talked about Crosby for like 10 years in a row. Like the best player nobody's ever like that's what I think of when I think of Hall of Fame is like, wow, this guy was during our lifetime in his prime, the best player to set foot on the ice for our eyes. McDavid, like
years stolen from him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that's what I think about when I think of the Hall of Fame. It's not like, oh yeah, he was a really good player on a couple good teams with like a lot of people are really good players. I think what sets him over the top is doing something so crazy like that Iron Man streak that you have to put him in that way, but it's not necessarily his play. I think it's like just doing something so crazy, like playing 1,000 games in a row. That's insane.
Well, not only so, here's what they have to do. They have to have a clay or a model, like the museum, like the wax figure museum, right? They have to have one of those of Kessel in the Hockey Hall of Fame, with all of the jerseys of the teams that he's played for and everything, and then a list of what his diet was on the daily. So I think that's the most important thing right there.
So real quick, he has 1,227 games played, 964 points, 403 goals. It's not bad.
He's played 1,000
great.
consecutive games. He's played 1,237 games total.
Well, I think he's played 1,001 consecutive games now.
Yeah. Well, that's just insane.
Mhm.
to
Yeah,
me.
it is insane. So real
Oh,
quick on the most points, and we can get off that. We've talked about it before. Wayne Gretzky, 2,857. Next closest person is Jaromir Jagr at 1,921. 1,921. So yeah, never gonna get touched.
If we've said it before where if Gretzky didn't score any goals, he would still remain as the top point leader.
Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't
Which
that
is stupid.
crazy? What I was going to say is though that the only person who is even remotely close to scoring at the same caliber as Ovechkin is Matthews. And
Mhm.
it's a very small sample size because
Smaller,
his first season was 2016, but you know, it can happen with a guy like that. So, we'll see. It's getting exciting though. There's a lot more superstars in the league than there were. It seems like when we were growing up, there were just a handful.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now it's
Every
like
team, every game that you watch, other than a couple where you're like, all right, I'm really excited because I get to watch this guy or this guy.
Yep.
You know, there's probably like 20 guys in the league right now that I would classify as like they're at their superstar level,
Yeah.
which is that's a ton. I feel like when we were growing up, there was like 5, maybe.
No, I agree. So real quick, we got Toronto this week, we got Vegas this week, and we have who's the other team? Do you know?
you
look
already
it
said
up.
Vegas.
Yep.
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Only reason I knew Vegas is because I'm going to the Vegas game as well. So,
Hey, you rooting for Vegas?
dude, that's the weird thing, right?
Justin's
You're gonna
got
have
one of those
he's gonna have
half
the split
jerseys.
jersey. Yeah.
No,
He's
I
gonna-
want one. I do want
it's
one of those.
Cotter and Larkin.
No, he's
So-
gonna wear a Vegas
Cotton.
jersey, and then
Co-
his face is gonna be painted red and white.
There you go. No, I told Paul I'm gonna make him a nice little sign.
Oh, God.
Go down to the bottom with it.
Yeah.
No,
It's like he's
what number is
elbowing
he,
the 13-year-old out of the way.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
Hey, Paul.
Dustin's
Paul,
gonna
sign
be
my
shirtless. Yeah, Dustin's gonna be shirtless with gold 43 painted on his body.
I've talked to that guy before.
I know
He's gonna be like,
him.
"Yep, never seen him in my life."
Yeah, that guy.
He looks over and he just shakes his head and skates back.
He's like, Coach, I need to get a trade out of here.
Immediately. Oh my god. Anything else,
All right.
boys?
Yeah, what's the record, really quick? 3 games.
2-1.
Who do they lose to?
I don't want to talk about it.
Wow.
I don't know. It's either I'll tell you who I think they're gonna lose to.
I think it's gonna be
Toronto.
1 and 2, guys.
Oh, you're salt. You know what?
They're on a 4-game heater. History. I'm. You know what? Prove me wrong. But I just think it's gonna go 1 and 2. I hope it doesn't go that way.
Connor, if you say 1-1-1.
I was going to say 1
I knew
before I
you
even
were
asked
gonna
you.
say-
Before I asked you guys, I was expecting one of you guys to say it, and I was still
thinking
going to say it. I can honestly see them. This is how I see it. I see a tie, a loss in overtime against the Maple Leafs. I see a loss in regulation against Vegas, and I see them getting back on track against Buffalo.
All right.
That's just right when I looked at those 3. That's what I saw. I
I'm
hope
being
I'm wrong
optimistic.
on that. I can if not, if they get the first game against Toronto, then boom, that's unreal. But winning 5 in a row in this league is so hard.
Agreed. Well, unless you're Boston, who's got 12-0 at home, right?
Unless you're New
Or
Jersey,
what-
who doesn't
oh my
ever
God.
lose.
Oh my, okay,
New Jersey got
New Jersey.
hosed.
Oh my god! All right, real quick, we didn't talk about that. New Jersey. So
Can't believe we didn't talk about that.
3 called back goals. Ended up losing the game. Fans are so pissed off. They're
2-0,
shit.
right?
Yeah, chucking shit on the ice because they're so mad because of all these missed calls. The worst part is one of them, the ref comes out and says, "Oh, it's a goal." Wait, no, just kidding. Not a goal. And which makes it even worse. But yeah, terrible. I don't know if it was the
Anyone
the
check
refs.
to see if those refs are alive?
Dude.
Then you get
It is
out
in
of
New Jersey.
Yeah.
I think that they
where murder's legal.
yeah
Right.
the swimming with the fishes. Sopranos made sure of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to a New Jersey game in a couple weeks, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully
Nice.
there's not 3 uncalled goals going on.
Just wait, are you going against the? It's going to be against the Wings.
No,
Who do they play?
Buffalo maybe.
Okay, I was
don't
going to
know.
say just don't wear the opposing. We don't want you to die. is what I'm
I
trying
every
to
time I
say.
go to Vegas, I wear a Red Wings jersey when we play the Red Wings.
Well, in
Yeah,
Vegas,
that's not New Jersey.
Vegas is a
True.
community team.
They're happy.
Everybody, there's
the
no
sun's
Vegas
shining.
fans.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Everyone's happy in Vegas.
It's just a community.
lose
It's a
all your money.
community NHL team. Anybody that's not an NHL fan, you just get
That's-
thrown into Vegas.
That's honestly
New
how I feel though.
Jersey- New Jersey is the Kirkland brand New York.
Oh my god, I'm going to the Jets
No,
game
it's
too.
it's the
Jets versus
it's the
Lions.
Kirkland brand. Well, it's the out of New York, but I feel like if you really don't wear, there's only one team that I wouldn't wear like an other jersey, and that's Philly. They're just
Philly-
yeah, more so than Jersey, more so than New York.
Yeah.
Because
No,
nobody's going.
I'm just saying like just this like the New Jersey itself, like
yeah, the North Jersey itself is like
just across the
a
river.
wannabe.
Yeah, it's basically like everyone tries to disassociate it from New York City. It's like, I mean, you kind of are. You're just trashier.
Yeah. You talk worse and you're trashier.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. All right, boys. Anything else?
Loved The Sopranos though, so they can't totally hate me.
Yeah, no.
Didn't you like Jersey Shore too?
I did.
There you go.
Yes, actually, they might hate me more for that.
Yeah, could be. All right, boys. Let's get the puck out of here, and hopefully they go 2-1 this week.
So yeah,
1 and 2.
See it. I
one
doubt it.
one.